Right, so what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This week's video, as you can tell by the hair, it is early in the morning and I am fresh out of bed, and that can only mean one thing: it is meal one. So that means we're doing a full day of eating. So since the last full day of eating, the types of food and everything has stayed the same, but the calories has dropped ever so slightly, mostly in the carbs department, just to really push the most and get the most out of the end of this body recomposition, mini cut phase, however you want to phrase it. Obviously, the reason for this is proteins are more or less a constant and do not change regardless of how low or high your calories get. Maybe a slight change in proteins as your calories get to the max, as carbs are protein sparing, and you can utilize that more and put less pressure and less work on your kidneys and your other organs when they're at max. And when you're at your lowest, you might need a little bit more, as you have nothing else going in your system and you want to retain the muscle when you're at your lightest and leanest. However, in this middle phase, so as we're losing weight, gaining weight, or maintaining, protein will stay the same, more or less, given a few grams. Carbs are the most fluctuating factor in weight loss and weight gain phase. And then fats, they stay similar. Obviously, they come out at the end of a weight loss phase, unless you're doing something like a fat loading, and they maybe increase a bit in a weight gain phase just to make the calories stick, as you will find if you do a high carb and low fat diet, if your metabolism is firing, you'll burn through those carbs, and therefore burn through those calories a lot quicker without the fat giving some sustenance to the calories that you're eating. Therefore, fats change a little bit, proteins barely change, and carbs are what change the most. So between last video and this video, the carb difference is going to be the main factor. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Enough of that, because I am starving. So we're moving on to meal one. Meal one, we've got 100 grams of cooked weight mince, 5% fat. So yeah, the 5% fat mince and 2 whole eggs I've got at the moment, along with 85 grams of oats, which is 15 grams less than the last plan and the last video. I use Fry Light 1 calorie spray, the extra virgin olive oil, just a couple of sprays of that to keep the added fats at a minimum. Obviously, I have my added fats through things like peanut butter, which you'll see in the later meals. So yeah, we'll get the mince on. Add some mixed herbs just for some flavour, and then I'll add the peri seasoning at the end with some pink salt. So whilst this is cooking, I get onto the oats. So fresh out of bed, not really moving too quickly, but it's all systems firing, doing 5 million things at once, especially with the recording. I have my oats in liquid form through my Proteins instant oats. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to shop my protein. Jameshughesjdh, check out all that good stuff. We're coming to the end of this vanilla one, so might even get to open up my new one today, which is chocolate, which is looking likely, as we only get about 65 out of this. So 63 grams, and then so I'll make up the other the other 22 grams with the chocolate oats, because I'll try not to let the mince disintegrate while I multitask. So just as the mince is finishing off, give the oats a good shake. We'll double check that it's at 100 grams. 106, so we'll allow a couple grams for the, a gram for the carbs, but we'll get those other calories off. Just push some extra water out of it. That should do it. There we go. 100 dead on. Right, so I put away all my ingredients like a dick. So about 1.5 thirds of the way there. We would be 2/3, but obviously I ran out of oats. Just eggs, 2 whole eggs. Scoop out the egg whites. Although the egg's main purpose here is to be the fats, get the extra bit of whites out for the protein as well. And a chef's tip, don't get no shell in the pan. Get that firing. Luckily I got an extra scoop and shaker on hand for the oats, so 21 grams. I'm not too fussed on the presentation of the eggs, as I don't like the sunny and I don't like it runny. So what I do is I cook it and then I'll split it. Alright. Yeah, so I cook the eggs and then I split them in the middle just to make sure that it's not runny, as like I said, I don't really like it. Not the biggest fan of the taste of eggs, but along with the mixed herbs in the mint and the peri seasoning I'm going to put on top, don't really taste it. And then I'll just chop it up into small little bits and eat it with the mince. And so here's the other bits of oats. It's like a shot of chocolate oats. And that should about do it. So yeah, I chop the egg up, mix it in together with the mince, add my peri seasoning. Oh, there we go, I put it in focus. I got this Schwartz peri seasoning. I buy it in bulk of like 20 or 30 at a time. And then mix that in, just so the salts are not all on the same bit. So it's flipped, and this is where the Himalayan salt comes in. I use 4 turns and then give it a little tap, so about 4.5. And that makes up meal 1. So I'll leave the calories and the macros on the screen for you here. Just to run you through it, we've got 100 grams of 5% fat mince, 2 whole eggs, and 85 grams of oats. Obviously, I had to split it into 2 separate as I run out of the vanilla. And I'll catch you all for meal 2. There we go, I've got the mic. So we're back for meal 2. We've got chicken, rice, and peanut butter. 200 grams cooked weight chicken. I prepared it in raw weight earlier. 100 grams of jasmine rice. This is my highest amount of carbs that I'm going to have in a day, obviously because it's before training, and then with some added fats as well. The reason for the peanut butter and the added fats is because obviously you want the food to digest before you train, so stuff that's easy digestible like chicken and white rice, jasmine rice, it'll be taken up by the body and digested nice and quickly, so that in an hour to an hour and a half's time, when I go and train, my body would have absorbed all the fuel that it needs, all the nutrient it needs to have a good session. This is why your training nutrition, whether it be pre, intra or post workout, is absolutely vital. Especially the pre-workout is absolutely vital to your growth and your training performance, because if you eat too little, you're going to get tired and you're going to have a horrible session. If you eat too much, you're going to be bloated, you won't digest it properly, and you'll have a bad session. Similarly, if you eat food that your body does not respond well to and does not digest well, you will also have a bad session as a result of that GI discomfort. It seems simple enough, but it's worth taking into consideration because it's easily overlooked. So that being said, why would I add fat, something that slows down digestion, if I want it to be digested? This is because you need the fat for the session to be sustainable from beginning to end. If I just had the chicken and rice without the added fat, towards the end of my session, especially because I'm on lower calories, I will start to feel it and I will use up the carbohydrates quickly, almost too quickly, and towards the end of the session I will crash and burn. So the fats will add that extra bit of longevity to the meal, extra bit of longevity to the energy source that will push me through to the end of the workout and help me get the most out of my pre-workout meal. That being said, I'm going to get this whipped up and I will catch all when it's done. Right, so as you can see, we've got the chicken here. Add the peri seasoning, an essential. And that is the reason why we have 2 separate bowls here, because I like the peri so much. and I also need to get the peanut butter in. I don't want to mix the two together, so we have a separate bowl to put some rice in. So I'll take a little bit of the rice, put it to one side, and then the rest goes on top of the chicken. So we mix the rice in with the chicken and add some extra peri peri on the rice just so the flavour is evenly distributed. And then of course, 4 turns and a tap of pink Himalayan salt. This is going to contribute to the pump that we get in the workout as well, so definitely worth adding salt to your pre-workout. Now we've got the bowl for the peanut butter, so we've got rice in there, and then we'll scoop that on top. 16 grams of this, so there's 12, hopefully another 5 out of that. A little bit too much, so we'll take a bit off. There we go, back down to 16. Right, so that is meal 2. I will leave the macros on the screen for you here, and I'm gonna get this down me and get in the gym because it's arm day. Right, so we're about to go and train. Check that the mic's on. So I'm gonna take you through my intra-workout nutrition. We've got some electrolytes and amino acids. So electrolytes, courtesy of Supplement Needs, 6 grams of this a day. This will help with the hydration. Yeah, so like I said, this will help with hydrating your body and ultimately leading to improved performance. Due to the increased hydration of the muscle, obviously you're going to get more oxygen, more blood into the muscle. It's going to allow you to train harder, longer, keep up the intensity, and also reduce the risk of injury, because dehydration is a contributing factor to injuries like muscle tears. So it's a given. This is a great tool to have in your intra-workout arsenal to get the most out of your sessions. Following this, we've got amino acids, again courtesy of My Protein. You know what to do. 10 grams of this. So why amino acids? EAs, essential amino acids, are the ones that are harder to obtain through your diet, and they are very important to training. This is because during training, you put your muscle through stress, trauma, and the process of muscle protein breakdown occurs. In order to delay this and offset this so that we can get the most out of our training and we can last longer in the gym before fatigue sets in, we add extra amino acids into the body around the training window so that they can synthesize in the muscle, so muscle protein synthesis can occur. This doesn't necessarily increase how much proteins you can synthesize as your body does what it does, but it slows down the rate of muscle protein breakdown so you can work out for longer. That being said, I put this in a bottle of water, fill it up and just drink it as I train, just to almost keep the supply constant throughout my session rather than taking it all before I train and then crashing out towards the end of my session. So that's that. I'm gonna get myself to the gym. I've got arms and hamstrings today, and I'll catch you all when I'm back. Right, so we just got back from the gym. So it's time for our post-workout shake, courtesy of My Protein. So if you do want to shop My Protein, I'll leave a link in the description below. JamesHughesJdh at checkout, always a big discount on. So we've got 40 grams of cyclodextrin carbs. Tap the last bit in. 25 grams of whey protein to finish that off. A good reason to use a shake as a form of post-workout nutrition is one, because it's rapidly absorbing. So you've spent all this time working out, causing muscle protein breakdown, fatiguing your body and your mind as well. So what you want is something that will get absorbed by the body quickly and quickly bring you out of that slump. And secondly, because I don't know about you, but sometimes after I've trained, I don't really want to eat anything. I'm not really hungry due to obviously the increase in adrenaline and adrenaline dump that comes at the end of a workout, caffeine consumption, which obviously inhibits appetite, and just the tiredness itself can also reduce hunger. So a mixture and a combination of all those things can make eating a big meal after training that less favourable. Obviously I'm not eating as much calories at the moment, so I'm absolutely starving, and I would eat 5 meals if I could. But yeah, that's the reasoning behind post-workout shake. So I'll leave the calories and the macros for you on the screen up here, and I will catch you all for meal 4. Right, so we just got back from a walk, just finishing off my steps. I'm on 8,000 steps a day at the moment, along with 35 minutes of cardio on the stairs. So this brings me on to meal 4, which is mince and rice. We've got 200 grams of mince, cooked weight, and 80 grams of jasmine rice, which is just 80 grams raw weight. Right, so as you can see, we've got the mince here, 200 grams. I did mixed herbs as I cooked it, and then I've added peri-peri here on top to season it. Then we add the rice. I always leave the rice in for a little bit, I say another 5 minutes after it's finished cooking, just to let it set. It makes it easier to get it out of the bowl. It doesn't stick to the bottom, so you can get every grain out. Mix it together and get a bit more of the peri seasoning on the rice, just so it's not all on the mince. Same as all my other meals. 4 turns of pink Himalayan salt, and that makes up meal 4. I'll catch you all for the 5th and final meal. Right, so we are back for the 5th and final meal of the full day of eating video, ending it with a chicken meal. Put the mic up here and hope that it catches my voice. So here we've got 200 grams of chicken, cooked weight, similarly to meal 2. However, unlike meal 2, there's no rice. We have cream of rice instead, 80 grams, which I will show you after I eat this, because I do it separately just for the sole reason that I want to eat my cream of rice straight out of the microwave instead, letting it get cold while I eat the chicken. I also have 16 grams of peanut butter on top of the cream of rice as well, just to add some fats. Similar reasons why I had the fats in meal 2. So I'm going to get this whipped up and I'll catch you when it's done. Alright, so we've got our 200 grams of chicken here. You know how it is, peri seasoning. Give that a mix around in that. And then finish off with the pink salt. And there you have it. That is part 1 of meal 5. Catch you all for the second part. Right, so to finish off the full day of eating, we've got cream of rice, rich chocolate brownie flavour, my favourite flavour. And with that, I just remembered why I didn't have the mic on my hip, because the sound of the bag is overwhelming, so I won't talk during that. Right, so 80 grams of cream of rice. Like I said in previous videos, how you have your cream of rice is completely up to you. The more water you put in, the more pasty it'll be, the less you put in, the drier it'll be. I have mine drier, just because then it tastes more like a cake. So now I think I have put a little bit too much water in this time. Scrape that off the sides. There's me saying I like it like a cake. Yeah, I fumbled it under pressure and put too much water in. So as you can hear, it's in the microwave now. I put it in for just under a minute, so it's around 45 seconds. And we're gonna pray that it comes out all right and it isn't too watery, because I don't really like it too watery. And then I'm gonna add peanut butter, so I'll catch you in a sec. It is watery on top. So yeah, as you can see. It's pretty much perfect now. So that couple of seconds to let it cool down has saved my cream of rice. So now we've got to put the peanut butter on. 16 grams. Sorry. And that makes up 16 grams. But yeah, that is going to end the video for this week. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. I will leave a total for the day up here. I forgot to mention that. So calories, protein, carbs and fat, all the macros. Just as a full day of eating, a little mini gut update. Hope this gives you some ideas, something for you to try food wise. Helped you figure out the reasoning why food goes where it does. So why meal 1 and meal 5 have more fat and less carbs, and why meals 2, 3 and 4 are higher in carbs, and meal 2, why I have the fats in meal 2, obviously to stop the mid-workout crash from burning through all the carbs too quickly, especially when the food is low. So I hope you have learned a little something from this video, as well as seen and enjoyed what I eat on a daily basis to continue losing fat on this body recomp / mini cut, however you want to phrase it, phase. But yeah, that's enough waffling, and I'll catch you all next week. I'm out.